As temperatures dip below the freezing mark in the winter months, people start tapping that temperature button for higher numbers. But there are things you can do with your furnace to help keep the temperatures warm in your home without causing a lot of stress in your wallet. It's called a furnace tune-up. And joining us is Jacob Thomas from Affordable Heating and Cooling. And Jacob, we're talking about tips to keep our furnace running tip-top. But what's a furnace tune-up?
Furnace tune-up is something where we come out and check your furnace, take care of normal maintenance items, clean it up, make sure it's in tip-top shape and running and operating correctly to save you some money. We also call it tune and clean as well.
Okay, tune and clean. And what are you looking for, Jacob, when you open up that furnace?
We're looking at the burners, the heat exchanger, flame sensor. We're also looking at the filter as well to make sure it's clean.
Jacob, is there one thing that you really recommend for the homeowner to take a look at their furnace they can do themselves?
Yes, looking at the filter and also the batteries and the thermostat if you have a digital thermostat. That's the #1 maintenance item that a homeowner themselves can take care of.
How often do I change my furnace filter?
You're looking at once a month, just a good rule of thumb. Higher efficiency air filters can go 6 months up to a year, but just a good rule of thumb for just a standard plain Jane filter, you're looking at once a month.
Now, we kind of equate this to an oil change for your car. You should look at the same way for your furnace.
Yeah, you have a certain time frame as far as like getting a tune-up on your car or changing oil. Same thing with the furnace. You should get it checked out in the fall for the heating season and in the spring for the air conditioning season as well.
Do you really notice the difference between a furnace that doesn't get checked up in terms of one that does have annual tune-ups, checkups in terms of the energy efficiencies? Do you really see that positive difference?
Yes, I see a more efficient system, a system that's not breaking down, having to put a lot of parts into it to get it to work efficiently. Also, longer life expectancy on the furnace as well. The heat exchangers are more likely to last longer if you get it checked out regularly, and also change those filters too.
And that's something, again, the equipment, the heat exchanger can run longer, right? It can last, have a longer life if you, again, you put the preventative maintenance to it?
Yes, it can. Like I said, we can check through it, make sure it's operating efficiently, and it comes on, it stays on, and then turns off when it's supposed to.
What are we talking about in cost for this furnace tune-up?
You're looking at $70. We also have maintenance agreements. This is around $120 for the year, and we come out and check the furnace and the air conditioner when the time is right for that.
And Jacob, again, that's a little bit to pay in terms of that preventative maintenance to prevent any bigger problems down the road, right?
Yes, correct. We cover just the normal maintenance items, make sure the motors and everything's coming up to speed and working correctly, and we can prevent a future maintenance call on overtime.
Okay, can you show us what you kind of take a look at when you go through the process? Mm-hmm. So Jacob, what are you looking for when you open this up? What's the first thing you're trying to identify?
We're trying to make sure that there's no abnormal things going on with the furnace. We check the igniter. We also check the flame sensor, which I got right here. We also check the burners, make sure they're clean. They'll cross-light correctly, because if they don't, then it'll cause an abnormal operation as well.
Any real surprises you've found when you've taken the back off of a furnace?
The biggest surprise that I found was multiple filters inside the furnace. That they got dirty and they got sucked inside the furnace, and then somebody had a filter down the line and there was another filter in there as well. So that's kind of the #1 thing I've seen that was kind of odd. Maintenance
is such an essential part of keeping the furnace running long, right, and running healthy. I mean, to get in here and check it out.
Yeah, when we come in and do a tune and clean, we'll check the motors, make sure they're clean. If the motors are dirty, they can cause them to overheat and cause failure in the future as well. We also make sure everything else is cleaned. We check your pressure switches if you have a higher efficiency furnace. Make sure the tubes are clean on that so they actually work correctly.
Now, you were saying this is a 14-year-old furnace, but it looks pretty good. And again, I think, due to regular maintenance, right?
Yes, regular maintenance. Furnaces can look almost brand spanking new.
Jacob, thanks. A lot of great information you shared with our viewers.
You're very welcome.
And if you'd like more information on how you can make sure your furnace is running at peak efficiency, visit our website at powerhousetv.com.